Hello, amazing atheist. Had the pleasure of watching another one of your videos on Buddhism. I think it was entitled Buddhism, the Ultimate Evil or the Great Evil. Again, this is the Buddhist response to your criticisms. I'd begin by reiterating what I said in the last video, that if you want to critique Buddhism, which by all means, critical thought is always warranted. The Buddha himself encouraged such critical discussion. He implored his followers to not believe something simply because of tradition, because someone told you so, because you read in a book, but because, through diligence you find out that it is true. So by all means, your critical comments are welcome, but in order for them to be important or valid, you need to at least gain a minimal understanding of Buddhism. For instance, you start out with the first noble truth: life is suffering. Well, that's not actually the first noble truth, and your blasé attitude and your minimal understanding about it, of course, lead you to create a straw man argument, which is basically the rest of your video. The first noble truth, the word that you see translated as suffering is dukkha. It's a Pali term that is often translated as suffering, unsatisfactoriness, stress, and what it deals with is not that life sucks or life is just suffering. The Buddha was like a doctor, and in this first noble truth, he's attempting to explain what our collective human ailment is, that life is inevitably fraught with suffering. We're all subject to illness, aging, and death. The ones we love, that we cling to and hold dear, will grow old and die. The material things that we love are going to get old and rot. And these are causes of suffering. Nowhere does the Buddha hold a nihilistic, negative view of the world. In many instances within the Pali Canon, he instructs his lay followers on the beauties of this world, on the happiness that can be found here and now, in harmonious relationships, in various instances. So I don't have time to go into all the other aspects that you kind of massacred. But I would encourage you to learn more about Buddhism if you wish to make further videos on it. A good source would be access to insight.org, which does provide many translations of the Pali Canon. You can actually look at what the Buddha actually said. So I hope that helps. Thanks.